is not the time for laugh. I've gotten a reputation of being a jokester, you know, a little comedian. This is not the time for hee ha-has, giggles. The real questions that people have asked me in my comment section about angelfish. I'm gonna be answering some of the most relevant, real questions that you may have about angelfish. No jokes. I'm gonna be serious. Ish.
Why so serious?
Throughout the years, I have gotten so many questions in my comment section about angelfish on some of the videos that I have made over the years. Obviously, if someone's asking me these questions, then it's out there. These ain't the only people that are having this problem. So I figure, you know what, let me make one video answering some questions that I feel are reoccurring. So I'm not gonna answer all of them. I'm gonna answer some of the ones that really pop out over and over again. Hey Funk, my angels sometimes are gasping for air at the top of the tank. Is this normal? What can I do? All right, so the reason why your angels are gasping for air at the top of the tank is because they're deprived of oxygen. And there's different reasons why they are deprived of oxygen, but the main reason that most fishes are deprived of oxygen is because of an ammonia spike. That's usually the case in most aquariums. Now, it may not be cloudy. That doesn't mean you don't have an ammonia spike. You don't have to have cloudy water to have an ammonia spike. But when you have ammonia in your aquarium water, it blocks oxygen from the surface to be able to diffuse and atomize in the aquarium water column, so your fish cannot get it to its gills. So your fish struggle to get air, so they try to go to the top, which is a last ditch effort. It won't work long term. It might help out a little bit, but it ain't gonna last. In this particular case, what you're gonna want to do is get that ammonia level down. There are different ways to do it. The most direct way is by doing water changes. Another reason why you may have depleted oxygen in your water column is the temperature is too high. The water's too hot. Hot water is also terrible for oxygenation to be properly disseminated. So heat and ammonia, but most cases it's ammonia. But that's not to say your heater didn't bust and it's making the water hot, because that has happened too. But once you touch the water, you'll know. Bro, what tetras do you recommend to keep with angels? Okay, so you ever heard the phrase? If you haven't heard, you will hear it watching YouTube, FishTube. If it will fit in its mouth, they're gonna try and eat it. It's a redundant phrase that everybody says, but it's true. I would stay away from guppies. I would stay away from neon tetras, cardinal tetras, or other small tetras like that, you know, galaxy rasbors and stuff like that. Get the bigger tetras, Congo tetras, black skirt tetras, stuff like that. Anything that won't be able to fit in its mouth, you're pretty much safe, to be in all honesty. Hey mate, can you separate a proven pair of angels and force pair it with another male or female? What they're asking from Australia, I know that because they call me mate. The answer is yes. It happens all the time. In fact, I did it too when I was breeding fish. You happen to like this male, you like this female. You can remove them, put them in the tank so that you can use the traits from either and put them together to come out with the best fry that you can possibly make. Yes, you can do that. Happens all the time. It's pretty much common practice. How about if I put just one angelfish in an aquarium? Is it fine for one angelfish to live solo? While angelfish is a social creature, they do live in shoals in the wild. They don't necessarily need another angelfish to live a long and fruitful life. They'll have you to associate with. In fact, I am under the impression, out of my years of keeping angelfish, that if you did do any cichlid solo, it forces that fish to crave your attention. So it comes to the tank It comes to the glass more when people come around craving your attention because it has no other outlet for contact, you know, interspecies personal interaction. This is a super common question. How many adult angelfish can live in an 80 gallon? How many fish per gallon? Angelfish. Well, I'll put it this way. Quick and easy. 20 gallon. 1. 29 gallon. 2. 55 gallons. Let's say 4 to 6. 75 gallons. 6 to 8. 125. That's my math on that. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. What are your thoughts on wild angelfish and discus? Discus seem, in my opinion, have a very, what's the word I can use? Long acclimation period where they're shy and skittish, hide. The problem I have with adding angels and discus of the same size is the angels, if you put them in at the same time, the angels are immediately going to be food aggressive. The discus are going to take a while. They're going to hide, and they're not going to be able to get as much food because the angels are hogs. So just for the purposes of the discus being able to get enough to eat, the first couple of months, I would get the discus bigger and have them well established before you get the smaller angels. That's my personal opinion. You can do it other variations. They're still fine living together. How you get them to live together, that's totally up to you. That was just my take on it. Cool thing about angels and discus, let me add this, is that they're damn near identical in their food, their spawning requirements, their living requirements, tank requirements, damn near identical. I don't even want to say damn near identical. They're identical. Angels have more of a variation of what they can handle, but identical. The funny thing about doing these videos, listen to this, is when I did the search on the filter, I did for subscribers. I was only going to answer the questions of subscribers, and when I did, I only had a small amount of questions that were given by subscribers. Once I removed the subscriber category and just did anybody's question, I had a huge list of questions. So that tells me a lot of people who are asking me questions are not subscribers. A lot of people who are watching my videos are not subscribers. And basically what I'm getting at, if you enjoy my content, please subscribe. It helps out me. Watch the video, leave a thumbs up. It's a small thing for you to do. It's a big thing for me. And I'm gonna leave a playlist right here and one of my more popular videos on angelfish for your viewing pleasure. Thank you in advance.